chub and overhanging trees really go together. It's a place where they can hide and feel safe. They're always in there, and especially with flooded rivers like we're always seeming to get at the minute, they're always pushing right up under the snags. It's a home for them to feel safe, and it's often a break from the current, much slower, much calmer, somewhere they can feel safe, and that's where you want to be fishing for these chub. So this rushy section on the River Thames, which is controlled by South Surney Angling Club, is a fantastic stretch because there's lots and lots of trees, which is absolutely perfect for chub. It's going to create lots of slack water and slower bits for the chub to feel very safe. They're going to actually congregate into. The good thing about it is that I would say every 3 to 4 pegs you've got a great big bush, and if you're not immediately on a chub peg, you're often close. Often lollipop tactics, fishing towards great big features with heavy elastic, and that's what you really need to be doing on this stretch to win matches. I'm not one to turn down a day's fishing, but on arrival at the venue it has to be said that the conditions are not great. The river's probably rose, what with it always seems to be. The winter's now very high, and we've had a big downpour of rain last night. It doesn't look great, it's certainly on the rise, so I think we're going to be up against it to catch maybe even just one fish. So to feed it today, to kick off the peg, I'm not actually going to commit to it too much. I'm going to feel my way into it because it is flowing very, very hard. So we're going to start off maybe just with a couple of dropper falls and continually top up throughout the day. And that's just to get a steady flow of bait going through the peg and hopefully drag some fish up from the next peg. And then when they turn up, if they was to turn up, then we're going to really start to give them some. Again, with this section, I do fully believe there's chub in most pegs. And the approach on your peg is really, really important. I don't mean the way where you're going to put your swims or everything like that. I mean how you approach pegging, that you need to be very, very quiet. A lot of anglers actually do quite a lot of damage to their peg because what they'll always do is plumb up all of the roach lines first, and then they'll start plumbing up the chop worm line towards the far bank last. So I'm hoping that by getting to my peg and plumbing up very quickly and getting away from the peg and letting it settle, whilst everybody else is plumbing up theirs, they actually push the chub into my peg and let them settle, and hopefully I'll catch one beyond. So a vital piece of equipment, and it has been over the last 2 to 3 years that I've been catching these big chub, is the double top 2 kits. The great thing about these, and the important thing about these, there's actually a less elastic in the pole. So especially when you're fishing up against snags for match-winning fish that are often big chub, with the less elastic in the pole, you can just use the strength in the pole to guide the fish away from the snags. He's only a pup, only a small one. Look at that. And that is why a long landing net is so important, especially on these banks. Look at that. So as well as using the double top 2 kits for pulling large match-winning fish away from snags, they can also be used for F1 fishing. A lot of F1 anglers will consider it to be the perfect amount of elastic. The elastic is actually 2 foot shorter than what's in most normal top kits. This is great because with light elastics that we're always using for F1s now, it's very, very soft, but it just powers up far quicker. And ultimately, in F1 races now, which is what all F1 fishing is, it is now a race, you're going to be putting fish into the net far quicker. So as expected today, it's been a really, really hard session. Considering the conditions though, I think to catch just the one chub that we have of about 3.5 pounds is actually quite a good result. It just proves that they really, really do pull so hard and you have to be geared up for them. So it was only a fish of 3.5 pounds, but it was trying to bore straight for the snag, especially in the very, very strong current. So just after landing the fish very, very kindly actually managed to escape. And I'm putting that down to the reason why I never actually had any more bites for the rest of the day, because he actually went back home and warned his mates. And that of course is winter fishing. It can be very cruel, but of course tomorrow that could quite easily have been a very, very large net full of chub. I'll definitely be back when the river drops to have another go.